And no matter how horrendous you act, once you receive that status of victimhood, everyone must understand. And that was the thing for me that I thought was...
She does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there was no doubt that she studied Princess Diana.
Interview.0.00.0.14, it's occurring once more. And this time, there's more noise than ever. Markle, Meghan, genuinely thought she had buried the rumors, the charges, and the constant drama on the internet. However, the attention abruptly returned, this time from a strong enough person to Hollywood in a single episode. Candace Owens, the audacious American pundit, renowned for her unvarnished, unadulterated manner, just rekindled one of the most intense this generation's royal debates. Harry, the husband, was unable to gain access. The escaped royal, not even referred to as Bridezilla, reflected on the unforgettable shortly after she walked down the aisle on May 19, 2018. A wonderful day when the sun gleamed vividly against a clear, vivid blue sky. Insiders claim that Meghan is outright enraged because, once more, people are criticizing the subject she most despises, her pregnancies. The awkward inquiries that followed her throughout her life as a queen are all of a sudden back in the spotlight. Candace didn't even think twice, second in her most recent, widely shared episode. She gazed directly into the camera and gave a line that caused reporters in Hollywood, to insiders as well as Meghan's whole public relations staff, recoil. It wasn't yesterday. That was 4 years ago. There's still an entire life, a genuine, enjoyable life that's taking place. The same narrative has been told to us for years, but it doesn't stack up. Next, she'll let go of the hammer. Meghan Markle has developed her brand by portraying the victim, and she always hides when she gets caught. Behind yet another poignant interview, I believe that people should be told the truth. The video exploded in an instant. Millions of views were shooting all over YouTube and Instagram using hashtags such as #NorMeghan, Candace Owens tells the truth, while Markle lies. Bomb and the reloading of the royal scandal the charts. In an instant, the Meghan hope that the talk would end in 2019 stormed back into the spotlight. To comprehend the reasons for Meghan's "know that you're upset," you must go back to the beginning of the pregnancy timeline drama that never really vanished. That wasn't yesterday. This dates back for lengthy years. In those days, life appeared vivid, thrilling, and authentic. Nothing comparable to the heated atmosphere surrounding her name today. When Prince Harry and Meghan declared their first pregnancy in 2018, admirers in the world applauded. The headlines screamed, "A monarchy baby is on the way." Seemed like a new The Monarchy's chapter, polished and contemporary. Thank you for the royals, isn't it right? It's simply put, Americans don't truly connect with it. Never made sense. To me, however, I fell in love. However, as the months passed, many online began observing odd little contradictions. Images where Meghan appeared to have a baby bump shift from day to day, videos showing her effortlessly bending down in high heels, as well as camera perspectives that caused spectators to murmur, something doesn't match. These exchanges turned into a chaotic whirlwind of inquiries. The majority of individuals brushed it off as strange angles, lighting trickery, or simply tabloid fantasy, until the conspiracy theorists seized upon it and pushed it into a much larger space. Despite the palace's open support for Meghan, will always remember what it was like to be investigated as if it were a research project. Strangers examined each picture, each motion, each grin, and that recollection reigned with her. Thus, when Candace brought the same rumor back into the spotlight, it was more than simply painful. It struck profound and intimate. Candace's latest piece didn't waste time being polite. It began by criticizing celebrity fraud, sincerity, dragging the behavior of certain celebrities genuine only when it helps them to simply be human. Are you aware of what I cruel? I have never witnessed this kind of. I've never encountered someone who has trouble simply provide us with a single strip of genuineness since. I am acquainted with other women who are taking in this podcast. Next, she peered directly into Meghan's. Metaculous created a media narrative with great attention to detail. You cannot seek privacy for a single minute and next, sell your trauma, Candace declared. And if you lie even once, people will doubt whatever you say. Cue immediately alarmed. Meghan's camp. And things worsened. As stated by, according to Entertainment Insiders, Candace performed a portion of Meghan's 2021 Oprah interview. Meghan's impassioned speech about worrying about the security of her infant and feeling muted. After the video concluded, Candace leaned in with a steady, icy gaze. Voice and inquired, so which is it? Silenced or charging $100 for the silence million? The crowd roared, gasped. In a matter of minutes, that cue was everywhere, remixed, examined, and discussed was pulled into each and every area of the internet. Candace had struck the precise Meghan spent years trying to shield her nerves. According to reports behind the scenes, Montito entered a state of complete catastrophe. Aides hurriedly called emergency gatherings to manage the wildfire, with the PR team spreading across the internet. An insider asserted Meghan was pacing, irritated, and demanding they put an end to it before it grew larger. However, the internet was already very popular. The momentum was unstoppable due to the timing was terrible. Hollywood was already whispering about the delays in Meghan's project, and royal observers wondered if would she and Harry ever go back to the UK in a formal capacity once more. Candace's comments that went viral put pressure on Meghan, put a lot of effort into burying the story. It doesn't matter if the rumor is accurate. A PR insider allegedly said the post. It's about perception. Furthermore, Meghan appears defensive at the moment, unsettled and reclusive. And that appearance is precisely what her group has been, attempting to erase for many years. The twist is as follows. This isn't even the first time that Candace Owens calling out Meghan, yes. Back in 2021, following the Oprah interview, Candace accused Meghan of using her race as a weapon and tears to elicit sympathy from the public. Her remarks have already provoked a fire at the time, but also brought Candace saw a huge increase of viewers. Now, after 3 years, she has returned, sharper and more brave and in control of a platform larger than before. I cautioned individuals on her podcast. Candace stated that once someone demonstrates who they are and what you think they are, them, Meghan Markle is not a victim. That sentence was like a THUNDERCLAP. Royal circles. Professionals hurried to weigh in. Some hurried to protect Meghan, mentioning the bullying and bigotry she faced, while some discreetly acknowledged because Candace was merely expressing what many insiders muttered. Meghan's feelings storytelling was becoming a hallmark, a meticulously constructed brand. And no, this time at the palace, one hurried to protect her. The timing was terrible for Harry. He was. For a private charity function in London when the news was released, British tabloids pounced right away. Photographers screamed inquiries as he got there. Harry, was Meghan lying when she claimed to be pregnant? Harry didn't respond. Jaw clenched, eyes down. Later, palace insiders detailed his response as icy professionalism. A senior said, "There, not touching this." The Daily Express was informed by a royal insider. The palace refuses to elevate the subject with a remark. They've moved past Meghan and Harry's whole drama. That intentional, Meghan was struck like a stomach by complete silence. Punch without the support of the royal family. She was left vulnerable in the crossfire. In the end, the internet had accomplished what it excels at: transform murmurs into wildfire. Old clips came back to life. Video of a shower went viral, and threads analyzing each pregnancy picture erupted. Previous talk shows, interviews, and it was a familiar experience. The same rage, the same reaction, yet Meghan had less supporters this time, and far more to lose. The pity of the media that previously shielded her following Oprah's dwindled. And even a few US outlets started portraying her as a divisive star. It was summed up by one Hollywood reporter, simply said, "Nobody believes her. She's recounted her story too many times, and each fresh detail only encourages greater examination." Candace Owens, she was winning. The number of people watching her show increased dramatically. And she hinted that additional receipts revealing Meghan's calculated deceptions were arriving. And the internet was holding its breath, anticipating the subsequent descent. As everyone saw the narrative spiral out of control, Meghan began to break her silence. According to insiders, she was furious. At everyone, not just Candace, daring to bring her back into this terrible chapter. According to a friend, she felt pursued, as if any effort to move was undermined as the headlines grew. Meghan spoke louder, making a move that would intensify the conflict into a full-scale media battle by dawn at Montecito. Her group started, preparing a counterattack while trending pages were dominated by Candace's video. Globally, Meghan was aware that remaining silence may appear to be guilt. But a mistake might make things much worse. The publicist attempted to guide her. It's constructive rather than defensive. Empathy rather than conflict. But Meghan wasn't in empathy. According to sources, she smacked her phone against the marble surface, later yelling, "I'm done being polite." That afternoon, a polished declaration appeared on sympathetic blogs and feeds for amusement. The Duchess of Sussex continues to prioritize her family and charitable endeavors. She won't participate with those who benefit from promoting cruelty and false information. Elegant, ambiguous, and well-written, but everyone was aware of the precise identities of intended the internet, and Candace received the message right. Now, in a few minutes, the statements, screenshots, inundated feeds with captions such as "Meghan versus round 2 has begun." Candace, podcast YouTubers and hosts gathered to analyze Candace every comma. Every detail reacted swiftly and ruthlessly, retweeting Meghan's assertion with only 3 phrases that made an impression. Then she leaned forward and went live under studio. Lights a cunning grin on her lips, the smile that conveys, "I'm triumphant." "You are able to issue all the you want press releases," she said. "However, this is the issue. You constructed your empire of speech. Each and every podcast documentary, every book, so refrain from acting like it's suddenly heroic to be silent. You open the door, Meghan. I'm merely strolling through it." That video had 10 million views prior to midnight. Hollywood was divided in half. A few famous people posted hearts and openly defended Meghan, flashed emojis of solidarity, while others remained silent, not because they were disloyal, but purely for one's own survival. A studio executive told Variety bluntly, "No one wants to pick sides in a feud between Meghan and Candace. One controls the royal fan army, the other a politicopowas. It's a total PR nightmare." For Meghan, the quiet of former friends was the loudest betrayal. Names that once stood by her during the Oprah era were now missing from the fight entirely. No late-night hosts rushed to her aid. No A-list stars jumped in to defend her. Actresses reposted her statement, but one insider whispered, "People are just tired of the drama." Hollywood moves fast, and sympathy has an expiration date. The backlash escalated when a former staffer, unnamed but clearly connected, quietly told a gossip columnist that Meghan's obsession with her image might be the real reason behind the chaos. So many insiders kept their distance. "Everything is strategic with her," the source said. "Every story, every tear. But when that strategy stops working, she blames everyone else." Within hours, the quote spread like wildfire. Hashtags like Saka, Meghan meltdown and crisis in Montecito dominated social feeds, trending across X, Instagram, and TikTok. Meghan's team tried to pivot fast. They arranged a glossy charity event in Santa Barbara. Smiles in place, hands clasped with local families. The Duchess back in full humanitarian mode. For a moment, positive headlines trickled in again. But then Candace Owens struck. And this time, she didn't just talk, she showed. On her podcast, Candace played a short montage of Meghan's past interviews side by side, pointing out dates that shifted, details that changed, and phrases repeated word for word from old PR statements. Then she looked straight into the camera. When everything you say feels scripted, the truth stops sounding real. The studio went silent. It wasn't cruel or over the top. It was surgical, and that made it lethal. By the next morning, major newspapers wearing in sidebars titled "Owens Challenges Meghan's Credibility." Under fire, news anchors debated whether Meghan's media fatigue had finally caught up with her. Meanwhile, Prince Harry stuck between loyalty and exhaustion, reportedly begged for calm, urging Meghan to let it go, but she refused. Friends said she insisted that letting Candace's narrative spread unchecked would destroy everything they'd built. Her PR strategist warned, if you keep responding, you feed her algorithm. Meghan wasn't thinking about algorithms anymore. She was thinking about revenge. The counterattack came in the form of a strategic leak. A glossy magazine historically sympathetic to the Sussexes suddenly ran an exclusive feature portraying Meghan as the target of a coordinated hate campaign by far commentators. The article didn't name Candace directly, but everyone knew who it meant. It painted Meghan as heartbroken yet resilient, a woman refusing to be silenced by smear merchants. Meant to sound dignified, it came across as desperate. Candace Owens immediately posted the headline on X with a caption, and there it is, the victim card again. Her followers erupted, and within hours, mainstream outlets were buzzing. By week's end, even neutral reporters admitted Meghan's image had suffered another hit. The sympathetic royal rebel now looked like a celebrity battling ghosts from her own past. One entertainment columnist nailed it. Candace isn't Meghan's real enemy. Time is. The public has moved on, and in Hollywood, that's the kiss of death. Inside, Montito staff reportedly described the atmosphere as defeated. Meetings canceled, calls unanswered. Meghan withdrew from the spotlight, skipping podcast appearances and red carpet events. Even Netflix, once eager to follow her every move, quietly shifted attention to other projects. They still respect her, a source said, but she's become unpredictable. People don't know what to believe anymore. For Meghan, that was the deepest cut. Not the criticism, not the headlines, but the quiet indifference settling over Hollywood. The same industry that once hailed her as a symbol of modern royalty now treated her like a cautionary tale. Then, just when it seemed the story might fade, Candace Owens signed off her show with one final calm, measured, chillingly confident line. "I'm done talking about Meghan Markle. The truth speaks for itself. No gloating, no victory lap, just silence." And somehow that silence hurt more than anything else because it meant Meghan's feud. The spectacle once adored by the internet was no longer worth airtime. In the end, Meghan's counterattack backfired. Not because she was wrong, but because she couldn't stop fighting. Every statement, every rebuttal, every perfectly polished press release only reminded the world of the same lingering question: can we trust her story? And for the first time since stepping onto the global stage, Meghan Markle had no answer. Public opinion is fickle. And in the age of clicks and clips, the loudest truth is often the last one spoken. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you want more inside stories from the royal.